President Biden and G7 leaders responding to the Russian invasion of Ukraine with what the White House is calling a devastating package of sanctions. We're going to discuss that, but before we get to Ukraine, we're going to talk about the news of President Biden's pick for Supreme Court Justice Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. Our Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas is here with us now. And yes, let's start. We're inviting you here to talk about these cyber attacks. We're getting this news now that Biden has made his pick.
Indeed, TJ, historic pick. The first time a black woman would serve on the court if confirmed. Think about all those attorneys, women of color who waited for this day. My wife, in fact, is a black woman, an attorney, and she had talked about this pick with pride. So this means something to a lot of people. Now, she is living up to the promise of President Biden, who said he was going to pick a black woman for the Supreme Court when he was on the campaign trail. She's a former clerk for Justice Stephen Breyer, who's retiring. So she's a person who has a great deal of qualifications. But of course, you know, TJ, confirmation in Washington is always a prickly matter. But there is some feeling that she could get some bipartisan support. So we'll just have to see how it plays out, TJ.
But still, it's worth noting what the history here is. What a historic pick, a historic day. But let's get back to what we've been talking about: Ukraine, Russia, these possible Russian cyber attacks. Many will tell us that they're already taking place, at least in the region, that they're attacking Ukraine. Well, literally attacking, but also these cyber attacks. But what happens with the U.S. if Russia decides to launch cyber attacks against the U.S.? What could that look like?
But TJ, we're talking about infiltrating or disrupting computer networks. It can allow hackers to target the electrical grid where power could be shut off. Hackers, in theory, can cause a water treatment plant to malfunction, impede your ability to use an ATM. There's also concern about mobile and communication networks. The list is potentially endless. You say it impede your, I guess, a lot of Americans' ears, our viewers' ears would perk up. Like, I would have a difficult time even accessing my own money in an ATM. So is there anything the average American could do right now to protect yourself besides changing a couple of passwords? Well, the main thing that you can do is to be careful when you get what we call a phishing email. Do not open any kind of attachment whatsoever if it's not from someone that you know. Again, we have to prepare kind of worst case scenarios, but we don't want to scare people. But you said kind of the list of possible disruptions is endless, but things like gas and food, could we be looking at things like that being in some way impacted? TJ, let me show you something. We went to a place called Dreamport, which marries experts from the U.S. Cyber Command, private industry, and academia. We have video of this place, I think, which houses a small model city. They used real live computer servers in the same way a full-scale city would. It was shocking to see what the hackers could do. We saw them shut off power for part of that city, turn off traffic lights, flood a park, and remember, this city uses the same kind of computer networks that a regular city would use. Oh, wow. ABC Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas handling two big stories for us, like you always do. You always stay nimble. You handle anything we can throw at you. And you're welcome here on GMA3 anytime. We love having you here, man. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.